Hello, everyone. Today we have an informal session, Tea with Peer Advisor. Today's topic is sticking to a schedule. Our guests are all senior students, Lera majoring in chemistry, Zarina majoring in economics, and Arai majoring in biological sciences. So shall we start? First question is, how do you keep everything balanced? I mean, clubs, research, and study.
Who will start first? Okay, I can start. Hello, everyone. It's me, Zarina. Now I'm senior student at Nazarbayev University, major in economics. Currently, I just finished my internship, and now I'm not doing a lot of tasks. But when I had to, it was really difficult somehow to manage studies, research, and work. So that's why I planned my all day. I had planner and also stickers with each day plan to-do list. So my own managing my schedule is my planner and also like stickers which I have near my laptop like with daily. So I have daily stickers, and on my planner I have week plan and plans with like all my subjects separately. So I'm like old-fashioned person who manage all her tasks with like traditional variant.
Yeah, that's cool. And Lera?
Yeah, hi everyone. So I guess, first of all, we need to introduce ourselves a bit. I'm Lera. I study at chemistry and I'm a senior student, as Adina have mentioned. My responsibilities involve studying and erasure. I would say that the most important thing about combining all these different tasks and different activities is setting priorities. So unfortunately, there are times that you have to abandon something, although with good time management, these times can be made very rarely, but still. So the first thing that you should decide for yourself is your priorities, like what subject maybe needs more attention from you because it's difficult, because it's your major, or well, there are various reasons for each person. In my priorities, I put, first of all, the deadlines, like big deadlines for subjects, and some work on research that is absolutely like I cannot postpone. So sometimes you can do things later. Sometimes you absolutely have to do this, for example, this week or in the next couple of days. And yeah, similar to Zarina, I'm an old-fashioned person. I have a planner and I write there with my pen because I don't know, I'm so uncomfortable with apps because, well, it takes time for me personally to, first of all, get used to it, know how to use it properly. And then I cannot I cannot abandon this possibility of, writing things out of the planner, like very meanly when you finish something. So yeah, we're on the same page. And I would say that always make priorities because, yeah, that's the first thing to do when you think of time management.
Okay. Arai?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Sorry, I guess my internet connection is stable. And do you hear me well?
Yeah.
So my name is Arai, and I'm majoring in biological sciences. Currently, I'm a senior student. And honestly, I don't have a lot of like things to do. I'm not in the clubs. I'm not running any of the clubs. But I am a research assistant. I do have some extracurricular activities, like I'm also directing one public fund, and I'm just studying. So from my point of view, in order to accomplish everything on time, it's of course important to prioritize things, as Valeria mentioned, and it's also important to have notes. And like unlike Lera and Zarina, I don't have a planner or diary. Instead, I just use notes on my phone, and it's, for me, it's like pretty convenient because I have my phone everywhere with myself. I can easily assess my notes and cross anything that I have already done or add anything that I need to do. And usually I plan my day in the evening. And I also think that one of the most important things to achieve and to be able to complete everything on time is to stay motivated and to love whatever you do. Like if it's research, then you should deeply fall in love with your science or with your major, whatever. If it's like any extracurricular activity or running a club, then you should also find something like inspiring in it. And try to do everything, not just to like have a tick in your notes or in your planner, but rather to like to chase something more, something behind that, these crossings and whatever. I also try to reward myself for anything that I managed to do on time. For instance, this week was one of the hardest weeks for me. And I promised myself that if I'm able to finish everything on this week and to meet all the deadlines, and the next week on Tuesday, I will go to the cinema or watch film in my room. Yes.
Okay, we will come to this topic about how you reward yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, that's good. And are you guys multitasker, or you commit your all attention to one single task?
I can say that it depends because at one day I had like 3 deadlines. Like in the morning I did one thing, and then I didn't finish it but started another thing. But so it depends how how prioritize your tasks. So, but I think if I have to choose, I will think that I do one task for one, like when I sit, I do only this, for example, assignment, and then only when I will finish it, I can do another. So I'm not a multitasker.
I can say that the same is true for me because I cannot shift to something else until I finish the current task. And I'm also, I tend to worry about things a lot. So I cannot move or shift to another task unless I finish that one. And I think that's why I am not a multitasking person, but I'd rather prefer focusing on one single task.
In agreement with girls, I would also say that I'm a multitasker only if, I'm forced to be a multitasker in some current day. But I hate these moments. I would say, well, it can be divided, like multitasking, for example, in just studying. No, absolutely not. I will avoid it at all costs, like starting something before finishing another one. But in different fields, like in studying and work, so you have to be like doing this today, something of this and something of this. So something like you finish some reading a chapter and then you go to the lab, set a reaction, and while it's going, you do something else. So only in different fields, because well, there are very different activities. So it's not like first of all, they differ in places. So you can be in the same place for these two, and they differ in their natures. So because of that, I guess this shift is easier than probably shift in between subjects, like when in any case you're just sitting and some reading and taking notes. So yeah.
Yeah, you all guys, as I noted, not for multitasking. So when you sit for one single task, how do you avoid distractions? Who will
I
go
can,
first?
yeah, I can go first this time. I guess on foundation or maybe even high school. I don't remember when I decided to do this, but I have no notifications on my phone. Like no, only SMS will get some notification. Not even Google Mail, nothing. It's just when I want to check everything, Instagram and all of the stuff, then I will check it. If not, I mean, my phone, don't bother me, please.
Just cool tip.
I also don't have like notification on my social media, but I have like notification on my email because I'm afraid of losing something or not seeing. And also I can say that in my case, mostly I do, for example, if I don't finish this task, I will not like look at my phone. So I set time, for example, 1 hour or 30 minutes. So I'm and then I'm only like focused on my task. So I just like throw away my phone and do my assignment.
Oh, okay. I guess it's my time. So basically, I think all of us agreed that our phone is the main factor distracting us from productive work. So the same is for me. That is why I just try to put away my phone to charge or just put it away, and I try to work on the laptop because like working in the laptop is the most productive is the most productive mode I can have. So that's why I don't read usually from phone. I do it on the laptop. I also can use phone or put it on my table, but I put on silencing mode, and it also keeps me focused on work. But usually I can even work like in loud places, like extra noise doesn't bother me if I stay focused. Like I don't need complete silence.
Yeah. Okay. You mentioned about prioritizing tasks, and I personally cannot like struggle with keeping balance between like tasks that I need to do and I want to do. So how do you cope with this problem?
Okay, I think it's my turn to start. So like it's a really challenging task to find a compromise between performing like the job you ought to do and the job you would like to do. But of course, I'm forced to do anything that has like a strict deadline, like choosing between watching a film or accomplishing a task. I, of course, should choose doing like homework or something like that. I just do it.
Well, me personally, when I in doubt in such cases, like I have something to do, but I really want to do something else. And actually, I guess it's important to mention that this something else need not have to be something, enjoyable. I mean, not enjoyable, like entertaining. So it can be like just subject that you like more or lab work or something like that. So it's not like very something you don't like very much and then you don't do like very much. Yeah. And when I in such situation, I just tell myself then, okay, if you finish this like you don't want to do, at least it will be finished, and you don't have to be bothered by this anymore. So let's do this, let's finish with it and forget about it for the time being. So yeah, this kind of keeps me motivated at sometimes.
Yeah, and then do you reward yourself for doing like that not pleasant task or like hard something homework or deadlines? So after that, like if I finish this, I will have some snacks or something.
I can start. Yes, every time, for example, even I had a midterm, I enjoy like going out with friends with whom we like had that midterm. So we oftenly go out together or watch film, or I just buy something. I like I like sweets. That's why sometimes I buy just sweets and just lie on my bed. So yes, I think rewarding yourself is very important. So you know that it helps you to keep motivated and do tasks. And also I want to add about like prioritizing. So sometimes the task can be also divided by difficulties. So when you have to do, it's more convenient to start with things which are easier for you, so you can like quickly finish it and go to the hard one. So it will also help you to manage your time.
Yeah, you won't be afraid that you cannot like meet the deadlines because of that. You started with simple ones and that hard ones need more time, and there is a change that you cannot meet.
I'm the person who every time I do all tasks, even it's simple or hard, even it only 1% or 0.5, I do it and I put a lot of effort. So I have never missed any deadlines. So and even I didn't like submit it late. So that's why I think I can prioritize some kind and always start, for example, with simple one. And of course, for example, leave more time to the hard ones, because like you can like in your mind maybe somehow count how many hours or days it will take for you.
Yeah, so guys, use planners, physical planners, so you will not miss any deadlines, even if you finished like 3 years and you're senior now.
Yes,
That's indeed true. And I also think that the human mind is somehow set like to get immediate gratification, to seek immediate results. That's why we often don't recognize like the long-term benefits of some works. That's why we tend to reward ourselves to stay motivated and till the end of the task. That's why we should reward ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. So in my case, I also reward myself by some food. Humans are very simple creatures. But yeah, I guess every person, if they decide to do that, they should know themselves, because very frequent rewarding in this sense can lead to very unwanted consequences. So yeah, there should be balance in rewarding yourself, especially with something very sensing, not just a little break or some episode of TV show. Yeah, but something more I would say touchable. Yes, that like food. Yeah, that's more serious.
Yeah, because I also reward myself with food, but even I don't finish my like task, I will have that food. So sometimes it's good to have like reward in the form of like films or maybe walk and go into cinema, something like not physical, not food. Yeah, and again, do you have like such cases when your friends like unexpectedly ask you out and you have like a lot of tasks to do and deadlines, but you cannot refuse them, and so you go and didn't you have such cases?
Yes, I had, but most of the time I just don't go. But once I had a time when there was a birthday, I guess, and I like was I took my laptop with me and just did my assignment on that party instead of enjoying.
Nice.
Multitasking.
I like find it sometimes hard to just to say no, not because I want to go, but I should accomplish some tasks, but just because like I'm afraid that I will offend my friend. That's a problem. But usually I try to say no if I feel that I cannot finish my task. If I go.
As I recall now, I didn't have many such instances for some reason. I guess the tip is to befriend people who also, like students, so that you don't have these discrepancies in timetable.
So your party is like charity messy.
Well, in a way, yeah, maybe, or maybe I, chat it for the same time.
Yeah, same like it's equal to asking you out. And okay, so you mostly say no in such cases, and
Can
I
I
think
add? Sometimes I just ask my friends like to manage our time. For example, we even like set our like meetings. For example, we should meet next Saturday, so everyone should do their assignments by this day. So I like mostly ask them to do it. So when, for example, when week starts, I just like ask them, are you planning something? So if you plan, I should like schedule it on my like a notebook, so I will be able to like don't multitasking but do only one task.
so. One useful tip, like organize or arrange meetings or like party in advance, so you all have planned and you cannot just reject it. Yeah.
Yes.
Encourage your friends to stick to schedules also.
Yes.
That's a good idea. Okay. We know that some tasks take longer time to finish than we expected, and you think that you could manage it like in 1-2 hours, but it takes like 3 or more hours. So in such cases, how you adapt your schedule or like make changes to it? I mean, there is like also similar to unexpected cases, like you spend more time and you are not you're afraid that you are not meeting your deadlines in such hard.
I guess it depends on the task. So in some instances when it's absolutely necessary to do, or maybe it's quite engaging to do. Like after several hours, you realize that it's quite, not so boring to do, and maybe even interesting. In some cases, I would just, if I don't have any other, like certainly necessary tasks to do, I think I will put it, like, go on until the end, because if it goes well, then yeah, I guess this is it. If it goes well and just I need some additional time for it, but with the good pace of doing it, then I probably stay and do it like till the end. But if the reason is that my pace is very low for some reason, I don't know, I'm tired, or well, there are a lot of factors that could affect your productivity, then and it's not like it's not the deadline before in coming hours, there I'll guess it's a good idea to switch to something that maybe will be more favorable to you at the moment. So just sometimes things don't work, particular things don't work for us like at this right moment. So if you sat there for 2 hours and you've read like 10 words of essay, well, maybe you can do something else if you have something to do, and this essay is not due this evening. But
Yeah.
but if it's going well, and you thought that you will finish this in 3 hours, in 2 hours, but in 2 hours you only did something like a half, but you're doing well, that you have emotional and some other capabilities to do it, then I would sit and do it like till the end, well, until I deplete my capacity of doing this.
Dara?
I agree with Valeria. If you can't just do something, then leave it and return to it after some time. But if, for example, I have a deadline, but I won't be able to finish my task, then sometimes I can ask for extension, if it's possible, of course. In other cases, they can be some situations when you just promise to someone to finish something until tomorrow, for example, but then you realize that you are not able to finish until that time. So in these cases, it's of course important to feel responsible for your words and choices, and try to look at this task or at this promise adequately, and try to finish the latest possible time rather than the shortest possible time. It's always better to finish earlier and give it to someone than to finish it later.
So okay, you have now adapted your schedule, and you gained skills, but can you compare yourself now as senior student to freshman student? So what is the difference of scheduling your tasks and managing it, sticking to it? Is there any big difference?
In my case, yes. In my freshman year and in my sophomore year as well, I liked studying at night, being all-nighter, and trying to finish everything, whatever it takes. But nowadays, I just can't go to sleep too late, and it won't be a big problem if I just it won't be a big problem if I won't be able to finish something on time, but it's going to be a big problem if I won't have enough sleep. That's the difference I have now. So in my senior year, I just try to do everything I need to do like before the night, and not to spend my night doing something. And because I know that I will be less productive during nighttime, and I just will spend my energy, my time.
Did you have a planner or like notes, took notes in your device, electronic, in the freshman year?
No, like I just finished my, like I just graduated from school. I didn't have such problems before, like time management. Everything was easy at school. You just study from 8 to 5, and you come home, and you don't have like any extra works, and there was like a need for it. And that's why I didn't have like a planner or didn't take any notes during my freshman year.
So you see now, you feel now difference between your like habit of planning and its like advantage for studying and having good sleep.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and Lera, how about
Oh,
you?
I wouldn't say that anything really has changed from my freshman year or even high school. I guess it was the same like throughout my studying, my um well, yeah, my concrete studying, I would say, like not very early in school, of course, but the last couple of years. So yeah, I've always loved these diaries, these planners. I don't know. They also seemed super convenient to me, and I've never been very productive after the sunset. I've noticed it in high school, but at that time it was kind of okay. But in university, it became absolutely crucial. So you could see me in library after, really in the late evening, only like several times. I knew myself. I knew that I cannot do work at this time. For some reason, I don't know. So it always been the same. Like I've always used to do things that I do them now. So I won't say I changed anything. Like the kind of task has changed because like some clubs changed to a ratio, but the manner that I deal with all of them, I guess, stays the same.
Yeah, I remember you planning everything, almost everything in foundation year. Like, yeah. And Zarina?
I can say that also my sleeping patterns may be changed because I always also like studying at night, because at night my productivity level is high and I can do everything. But nowadays my maximum is like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. And but when I was like my sophomore year, I really like studied till 6 a.m. I was in the library and was that. But most of the time I don't prefer like studying in the morning. I'm not morning person at all. It's very difficult for me. And also maybe online like education somehow made it easier to manage your time. Also clubs are online and everything, because when I was my first year and second year, it was harder. I was very active person. I had a lot of clubs and a lot of like study. So now maybe like changing, it's always like doing time management really helps you to manage all your tasks. So sometimes you will have to sacrifice with time at the club to finish your assignment. But I think that managing your like university work, like assignments, it's more important maybe. So even just enjoying clubs, just
Yeah. Coming to online mode, I think one of the biggest challenge or maybe advantage of online mode is that you have asynchronous classes. Do you have one? Yeah.
Oh, chemistry don't like that.
Yeah. Even though we have some freedom of choosing time to do our homework, maybe listening to lectures. So is this problem for you or maybe like advantage in your schedule?
I can start that online education, yes, it has also drawbacks and advantages, but in terms of like difficulties and assignments, it got easier for me because you don't need like to write a midterm in the like how to say in like I can't remember even the name of the
Ballroom.
yes, ballroom. it really made you stressful, and and now you just switch on your camera and just write it on by yourself. It gets easier, but about like group works, it got harder because now in my first year I have a lot of group works which really need to be like face to face with your peers, so it's kind of difficult. But in terms of assignments, it got easier. But everyone knows that talking to your friends, peers, and like exchanging ideas, it's better when you meet them face to face. So it's like 50-50, I think.
Don't you have problems like postponing your lectures or like some deadlines because you have online and during the lecture like in offline you don't have to do during the lecture time?
I think also like online lectures, I don't have face-to-face meetings, only only one subject. So it's also easier maybe rewatch lectures because something maybe you missed when I was in the lectures. If I missed something, it was easier. I had to go to office hours and ask professor again, but now I can just rewatch a lecture, and it's also easier, I think.
Okay, guys, Zarina, I have to go now. Thank you, Zarina, for coming and sharing your tips, experience.
Yes, thank you for inviting. And I can say that if you have any questions about economics, internship, erasure, I'm very kindly to answer all your questions. Adina can then write my email or do something. I'm always happy to help first year student or second year, never mind. So you can always message me. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for coming. Bye.
Bye.
Now we'll continue with Lera and Arai about
Well,
online mode.
yeah, I would say that it became like so worse for me. Yeah, I mean, you know that you can rewatch lectures and it lowers your discipline so much. I don't know, it's awful. Like before you had to go there first to get attention points, attendance points, and secondly, yeah, because well, if people like to say things but not write them on their slides, so you have to be there well, for the most time and listen and write something that they mention, but but didn't write on the board. But now we can rewatch it, and like I feel, is it my internet connection or Adina's? Oh no. Oh no.
You're stuck.
Uh,
No. Okay, no, it's okay.
oh yeah, okay. Wow. Wi-Fi dormitory betrays me. So yeah, I'm telling that for me the discipline it become so much more difficult to keep the same discipline for me, because we don't have to attend, we can postpone, and I mean I feel that in the end it makes me study, like it makes me studying more difficult. I really enjoyed like very traditional way of learning. You just go and sit and listen and maybe talk, and now, I mean, even talking is not really encouraged in online mode. So yeah, I'm cursing online education very much because it's much more difficult. I only find something useful when I really have a long experiment in my lab. Like sometimes you can go away for several hours and you have to, you know, stay there, and then you're like, oh, okay, I can rewatch it. But when it's one time in a month, it's okay. But when you start to postpone it because of, you know, I want to sleep, okay, I will go in an hour, but you didn't, it becomes such a mess. And it's, well, I feel much more responsibility for myself, because there it likes you sharing, like someone else have put these responsibilities on you and you just follow it. It's easier, but now you have to decide everything by yourself and keep an eye on yourself by yourself. So no, I so don't like it. I really want to go to a regional kind of study, and yeah, I want to share these responsibilities once again with other people.
That's easier. And Arai like was smiling in this point. Let's listen to you.
Well, it can be surprising, but I'm kind of indifferent to both kinds of education, to both types of education. I know that it was like maybe I like the quality of the knowledge I would get in offline mode would be much like higher. But I also know that in my previous 2 years, I took the courses that require a lot of studying, learning, reading, and offline mode of delivery of lectures. And in my last 2 years, I have mostly electives, some humanitarian courses, and sometimes I'm really grateful for having online mode, because I don't have to attend these like Kazakh language classes or writing SSH, right, classes. Yep. It also, like Lera mentioned, enables you to spend more time in the lab and to watch some lectures later. I also had few courses like cell signaling. Another course is, I guess it was genetics. And I also appreciated online mode of delivery, because you always had an opportunity to return back and rewatch lectures, to take some additional notes. And it really was helpful and efficient in education.
Yeah, it's like 50-50, have some advantages and disadvantages, yes?
Yep.
Yeah. And coming to finish, could you give like some advice or tips for first year, like freshman students, like looking at you as freshman? So what would you say to yourself about scheduling and the meeting deadlines?
Well, I would say that one of the important things is to find like what kind of learner you are. So like, yeah, I've seen many people for whom studying from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. is quite good. It worked very well. And I was like, always, how can you do this? So because people are so different. And yeah, the sooner you understand what's more efficient for you, the better. Also, I've seen a lot of people who become very surprised when I tell that I study in public places like cafes, and they don't understand like how can you study when it's so noisy. And I mean, yeah, you should understand what's best for you. So, but because, well, the time goes up and the number of deadlines is increasing, like as the term goes. So you should figure out this as quickly as you can. So not, you know, experimenting for very long, because yeah, you have to choose some mode. Well, what's at least moderately good for you. So yeah, that would be one thing that came to mind.
Yeah, and I would also recommend like don't try to like to take everything from life, or to try to accomplish like every task and join every club. Just find something which is particularly interesting for you. Try to find yourself like in one specific area and try to develop yourself in that area. Try to grow. And I know that I sometimes regret about my first semester of the first year, because I had computer science and Gen Chem 1, and I think that I could perform better if I paid like enough of attention to that courses. So if you are freshman year student majoring in biology, of course you don't have PS 151 now, but please try to, like, if you are not proficient in computer science, just try to take those two courses, like computer science and Gen Chem, into separate semesters, or take like fewer credits and take both of these courses in one semester and try to dedicate more time to these courses. I would also recommend trying to like Valeria mentioned, try to find your own pace of working mode, the environment you can work in the best, the time you can work in the most productive, and don't to like to be like your friends who can have like different mode of education or anything. Try to choose your own path and do like any choice with regard to your own capabilities, abilities, and time management.
Yeah. I really think that planner is a very good thing. I mean, in different ways, of course, but yeah, something having a place where you actually read roads, all that you must do and should do. Like, not everything is very compulsory, but you can decide what's, you know, additionally that you can do that will benefit you. So I guess it's a really good thing to have a place. Of course, once again, in your own way, in your maybe some fancy app that is really convenient, but maybe we're too old to manage to acquire the skills to use them. So yeah.
People also tend to forget some things, and your notes will just remind you the tasks that you need to do. And it's also sometimes useful to go back and to find like what did you do on Monday or on 7th of like July, and to keep a record. Yeah, it's like recording like everything you do in your lab notebook.
Okay, thank you. Dear students, if you have questions, you can ask and unmute yourself and ask, or you can just write in the chat.
Hello. Can
Hi.
I?
Hey.
Thanks a lot for sharing your experience. I'm sorry for my voice. Let's be honest that we can use all these tools and all this stuff, but eventually we will, we all at some point of time reach that point when we can't stand it anymore, when we are burned out. How do you deal with it? Yeah, I am tired of these 6 weeks of studies. I've been spending, I don't know, 4, 5, 8 hours a day. I was very motivated, but I'm actually burned out. And when you are in such a condition, but you have everything planned, generally it looks like a mess when you are just not capable of doing your plans. How do you deal with it?
Well,
Yeah,
I guess
that's a tough question.
yeah, I guess the problem is that you spend quite a lot of time studying, like 8 hours a day, every day during 6 weeks. Sounds really like really hard. So maybe you should just take a break or wait until the fall break and do something that will allow you just to get some energy to relax. In my case, I also have such situations sometimes. Yeah, I feel like I'm not able to meet all the deadlines, even if I don't have like free time, and I'm always doing something, and it's really sometimes frustrating, and it can just sometimes sometimes you can really just burn out. But the most important thing maybe just to seek some support from your nearest, try to discuss those things with them and to listen to their advices. Sometimes the lack of communication leads to burning out. Sometimes lack of enough relaxation. Yes, that is the advice that I would give you, and that is the way I usually cope.
Yeah, I would, I guess, add to actually very good points from Arai, that sometimes, well, my advice can be also quite for some people it can be a bit challenging, but I guess everyone can cope with this if we think a lot about this, but not too much. Well, I get to the point that if the times are really confusing, like I mean, everything is just piling up on you, and everything doesn't go the way you want it. Sometimes it can be helpful to remember, or maybe to think for the first time, I guess, but in most cases remember that like, what is the bigger, I guess, reason for doing all of this? Of course, when we go to university, not all of us have this reason. I mean, um, come on, we just graduated school. Finding a very good reason that could keep you motivated is kind of difficult. Or I faced another like side of this, is that when you had this reason, but closer you got to this, like the blurry it gets. So you have to reshape it. So my point is that one thing is to remember like your big reason, some goal, I guess. I don't like when goals are very certain. Like there are techniques that say you have to, detailedly know what you're going to do, what you want to do, what you want to achieve. But personally, I found this very confusing and very difficult to find. So if you have even some abstract goal, I think it's okay. So just remember things that keep you motivated, or if it's challenging, because it can be challenging, really, find maybe some smaller goal, like, fall break is so soon, like it's so very soon. Okay, I should like get to this point, and then like it's like placing a tick in your life, in some sense. So you have smaller goal that is closer to you, and you can perceive better than some very abstract and long-term goal. Or even you can do like even closer goals, like, okay, like this evening I will get some very tasty food for lunch, something like that. So try to find a goal like on your own, I guess, distance from you, that will get you enough motivation to cope through this time, because this messy time won't be forever. It will take some maybe days, but it won't be forever for sure. So yeah, I guess thinking about future, near or long-awaited future, can help in finding capabilities of dealing with all of this, and survive these messy times.
Yeah, I agree with Lera. And it's also sometimes like very dangerous to stick to the idea that you are frustrated, you are stressed out. Just try to keep yourself distracted from that idea and find really something that keeps you motivated. Just don't be drawn to the idea that you are stressed, that you have a depression, that you're burned out.
I mean, yeah, I've also seen many people that get stuck to this, and I mean,
Yeah.
after some point, it's themselves that make this all things worse, not the consequences, not the deadlines, but those people. So yeah, we should understand our problems, but not make them worse ourselves. So we should deal with them, not make them worse.
Yep.
Yeah, good point.
It should really can have like very dangerous consequences. Just try to stay positive about anything, and just try to distract yourself from like negative ideas.
Yeah, I mean, you can do something that is quite good, like that you can do at this time that is going well. So I mean, one subject, or maybe it doesn't have to be subject, but some extracurricular activities. So maybe stick to that. Yeah, that one point. Well, that at least this is going quite good. I mean, I can engage in this, and then everything should should come together as well.
Camila, does this answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. We will survive it. And also I would add that what I found out that helps is music, when you just listen, or when you sing, or when you play an instrument, and doing some, low key tasks, like you have maybe not really overwhelming workshop to go through. And when you do a very easy task, it kind of gives you some not entertainment, how you say this, nagrada, some rewards, some
appreciation
little
of yourself.
rewarding feeling. Yes, so maybe doing very easy tasks might help.
Yeah, very good point. I do this with cleaning. So when I'm sick of everything, I clean my room. It's actually pretty clean from this weekend, so it works as well. So you understand that it's useful thing. I'm not just watching movies all the day. I do some useful stuff, but it's not studying, but it's still useful. So I'm not thinking bad of myself because of this.
Yeah, that's good tip. And we have one more question from Asem in the chat. She writes, I have opposite situation. I don't have any motivation, but I meet deadlines. I do task at the same day as the deadline. How would you encourage yourself to do task earlier? What tips can you suggest? It's good that she's meeting deadlines, but doing this that day of deadline.
Yeah, that's already a good point. Well, I don't know, from my experience, in many cases, like the grades that not so high, when you do the task at the same day of the deadline, it's like enough motivation to start doing this a couple of days at least. No, I mean, it depends, of course, on the deadline, but still. So I guess grades were one of the most influencing things, like to start it earlier if you don't enjoy it. I mean, some deadlines you can really enjoy, find something interesting about it. it's frequently possible to do. But when it's not, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm a very slow person. I can do things very quickly. So maybe like my nature is so opposing to this position of doing deadlines in the same day. So it's like after this day, I get very nervous. I know I will have a bad grade, and I usually do if I do deadlines at the same day. A couple of times I did this. So yeah, I mean, I guess for me it just doesn't work. And I would say that, well, maybe you can try an idea that grades will be better if you start earlier. But if they are like excellent, then I guess there is nothing to worry about it.
In such cases, I just think about freeing up some time on some days. Like if I do it just maybe 2 days before the deadline, then I will have 2 more like 3 days to do another task or just to relax. And I also always keep in mind that, for example, writing something isn't something that happens like perfectly immediately. And you should always have some time to revisit your writing, to reconsider some things, to fix some mistakes. Why? Because when you do it like just in a short time interval, you don't have time to get distracted from this work, and you can't look at your writing, for example, right, from the perspective of readers, because you already know all the ideas, you perfectly comprehend the context of your writing. But when you return to this task like 2 days after you wrote it, then you have fresh mind and you can look at your task from quite a different perspective, quite a different angle, and really improve it. And the idea with grades, I think, also works.
This question, yeah, this question actually reminded me of words from my high school teacher in programming. Like it is like amazing person, and he always suggested us to do our homework the day it was given to us. So it's kind of difficult with university deadlines because we have, their assignments are longer. Well, in school you have to, solve 5 problems on this subject, 10 problems on that subject. You can do this on the same day. But the idea, like this, he regarded as the best way of learning. Like you were told to do this, you do this as soon as you can. So I guess we can apply this to university. Of course, not ideally. I mean, even in high school, it was very difficult to stick to this. But the idea that you deal with it as soon as you can, it really, like, yeah, as I said, you have then spare time, like very well sooner. You don't know what will happen tomorrow or after that. So it's nice to have some spare time in your save account, let's say. For example, if friends unexpectedly ask you out, it's better to have your deadlines already covered.
Yes. Asim, does this answer your question?
Yay.
Yeah. Do you have any more question? Yes, Aidar? Aidar, we don't have, we can't hear you.
Do you hear me?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
no, yeah.
Okay, when I study, like I spend too much time on social media, so I recently like deleted almost all of them. And
Oops. I stopped hearing you.
Yeah, we can't now hear you.
can just type in the chat if it's more convenient for you.
Taking the name of the event quite literally, huh?
Yeah. So let's wait Aidar's question.
Yeah, in the meantime, I just cannot. I think that most of the listeners and participants are like freshmen or sophomore students. And I want you just to keep in your mind that it's like sometimes, like in life, it's impossible to pour from an empty cup. That's why just try to develop yourself, to improve, to grow vertically in your life, to find something that you are passionate about, and just find opportunities to develop yourself and to find yourself in something very inspiring. That helps to stay like motivated, to have good time management, and to achieve certain goals.
To have good grades.
Sometimes.
Oh yeah.
How do you combine social media and studying? I just deleted them because they are distracting. By the way, thanks for interesting and helpful hour. Even my water tastes better thanks to you. That's sweet.
Yeah, that's cute.
Oh. Okay, I guess I can jump in and answer. So, yeah, I mean, that's a very radical way of coping with this, but if it's work, it's kind of okay that when you delete it. But I mean, many of us find something favorable and pleasant about social media. And for me, I let myself have little breaks, like Instagram breaks or similar stuff when I study. But you really need to focus that, yeah, these breaks don't turn into like 15 minutes spent nowhere. I mean, if it works for you, it's nothing to be ashamed of if you spend a little time on Instagram or other social media while you're studying, if it's like 5 minutes or 7-10 minutes, and if these breaks are not, very frequent. I guess our brains just need some little stops when it focuses on something. And I find it quite useful. So yeah, as you recall, I don't have notifications. I don't see how many messages I get until I open the app. So at this time when I think, yeah, I can, just sit for a while, like it usually about 5 minutes, maybe 10, if someone actually wrote me something and I need to answer. So then I check it up and I get distracted. Maybe my brain gets distracted and relaxed at least for a bit. And then knowing the time, because yeah, you can get lost, but knowing the time that you have spent on this, you can say to yourself, okay, like that's enough for now, let's return. So I guess it's like Pomodoro technique. I'm not sure with the names. I don't fancy like this techniques. I don't know the actual names or like proper way to do this, but for me such way actually works. So small breaks when you actually feel that it would be beneficial for you, I guess that they're okay. So mostly I spend time on social media on these breaks, and in some boring instances when you're in a queue or yeah,
Yep.
when you have to do something, but actually, I mean, you want to engage yourself somehow, but there's not really many options. So you're not studying, but yeah, I guess those breaks can work. But yeah, if you manage your time, of course, yeah. letting it grow up in a 30-minute break, yeah, that's not a good idea at all.
I can also add that maybe checking your screen time can also be sometimes helpful, because screen time distributes time spent on like entertainment, education, music, and so on. And like having seen that you spend 2 hours on Instagram or other social media, you realize that you just spent 2 hours for nothing, and helps you to use your phone less or to use social media less. And I agree with Lera that using some techniques can also help to stay focused. And maybe you should just define for yourself that there are some drawbacks of using social media, and you need to define for yourself the time that you are allowed to use the social media. And just deleting Instagram or Telegram or other social media, I think won't resolve the problem. It's better to develop maybe some resistance. Yeah, like it would be better in the long term rather than just deleting it.
Do you find it useful, Aidar?
If only we can hear him.
Guys, do you have any more questions? You can write in the chat.
Good.
I think just few participants left.
Yeah. So, okay. I want to thank our brilliant seniors, Valeria, Arai, Lera. Thank you for coming here today and sharing your valuable tips and experience and giving advice to our freshman students. Thank you.
Yeah, and thanks to our brilliant moderator.
Yeah, thank you, Adina, for inviting us. And also thank you to the audience for such an interesting questions, because I really had to think on some of them.
That's good that you too find it yourself useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.